My MetaQuest 3 makes VR worlds look and sound real, but it doesn't make them feel real. That's where the bHaptics Haptic Vest and its other add-ons I've been testing hope to come in. While they look and sound a little gimmicky, they've quickly become some of my favourite VR accessories, particularly the vest, which is a must-have for enthusiasts. Though bHaptics tech isn't cheap, and you'll want to check out the list of compatible games against your library before you buy any. Normally VR gamers just have to make do with some controller rumbles, which aren't bad, but aren't a match for proper, tangible feedback that make it really feel like enemies are attacking you or you're ingesting a power-up. Once connected to your headset, the tacked suit, sleeve, visor, and gloves will sync with compatible games to create much more realistic feedback. The 12 actuators in the gloves and 3 motors in the sleeve will pulse when you say, hit an enemy with a bat or shoot a firearm, with different weapons creating different sensations. A more traditional pistol will create a little kickback, while a sci-fi electro rifle will send a wave, what feels like static, through your arm and down your side. When enemies return fire, you'll feel their shots activate the vest and visor haptics based on where you were attacked. It's not painful, but it's enough feedback to make enemies feel like tangible threats rather than simply ethereal nuisances. And setting the haptics up is super simple. You just install the bHaptics app on your Quest headset, connect the accessories via Bluetooth, and then you can customize the intensity and sensations that you want. There are in-app demos to get a taste of what the haptics are capable of, with the Experiences tab then letting you see what full games are compatible with your new setup. The tab automatically filters by platform, as your haptics can also work with compatible PC and PS5 VR games if you connect them to those platforms, and the selection can be further trimmed down based on which accessory you have. The bHaptics site has a similar list so you can check compatibility with your VR library before you buy the haptics and realize they're completely useless for you. You'll also notice that games are given different tags like native or mod. Some game developers have added bHaptics support into their games directly themselves, while other titles have simply had them added by fans through mods, though these mods will only be available on platforms like Steam which support them. The haptics can also, apparently, activate via audio input, so you can use them with otherwise unsupported VR and even non-VR experiences, though I haven't had time to test this feature out before today's video. I'll be covering it in my full review over on TechRadar.com when that drops. My only gripe with these in-depth compatibility checkers and tools is that the Quest app doesn't have an obvious way to highlight the games that you have in your library already. You don't just have to scroll through the list until you spot one. But enough of me telling you about the haptics. Let's show you how my colleagues and I got on testing the bHaptics accessories, as well as what we thought of them.
I can feel it here. It's like not just all over my chest, it's wherever I get hit, which is cool. I think I'm gonna die. When it's all body and you're getting hit by like a bullet here, a bullet here, a bullet here, I can feel it here, rather than just all over the chest, which is good. Like that's quite immersive. The finger guns are good when they connect. Like I found that my hands were disconnecting from where I was pointing.
Oh no, I don't like them when they run at you. Christ, they're aggressive. Oh no. The haptics are really impressive actually. I was not expecting quite as much motion in the ocean as I received. The hand haptics, I don't feel vibrations in my fingers very often. That's not how I experience sensation in this life, so it's a bit weird having my hands vibrate. I feel like you don't necessarily need the responsiveness in your hands as the same way you do with your body, and I can see way more ways that the vest would be incorporated into games than the gloves necessarily.
As for me, I think the haptics are pretty awesome. They make VR experiences way more immersive, and I honestly can't imagine going back to playing VR games without them. And I'm hopeful more developers will add support for haptics to their software in the future. That said, there are a couple of problems that we should discuss. For a start, we can't ignore the price. The cheapest tack-suit is $249, while the Pro version that I'm demoing here is $499. The Pro includes 32 motors, which is double what the Air boasts, so it's more accurate and immersive with its feedback. Meanwhile, the visor is $149, the sleeves are $199 for a pair, and the gloves are $249 for a pair. These prices aren't absurd given what some haptics have cost in the past, but it's a price that limits these haptics to true VR enthusiasts who use their MetaQuest 3 regularly. If you're new to VR or you only get your headset out once in a while, the haptics aren't going to offer stellar bang for your buck. What's more, once you get a tracksuit vest, it will become super noticeable that you aren't getting feedback from other parts of your setup. It will feel like you need to buy the visor and the sleeves to stop you being stuck in this sort of half immersive VR world. I can attest to that as while I demoed the visor at CES, I haven't currently got one to test, and it's super odd for my chest to feel incoming enemy blasts, but then not feel my head rumble when I get hit in the virtual world. Lastly, the warning on bHaptics' website that the gloves aren't recommended for non-VR developers rings true. Very few games on the Meta Quest 3 currently support these gloves, and in the games I've tried, like Rogue Ascent, which you saw us playing, we found that the gloves can negatively affect the accuracy of hand tracking. You might see it in the clips, but the game sometimes struggles to understand what the gloved hands are doing, though when it works, it really works well. So, the all-important question, should you buy these bHaptics accessories for your Meta Quest 3? Well, the vest is a definite, and based on its more accurate haptics, the Tracksuit Pro is the model that I think most people should look to get. Though the Air isn't bad and is a solid option if your budget is on the tighter side, given it's half the cost. The sleeves and visor should be seen as a combo. If you're going to get one, get both, as it will feel weird to have a near complete setup, as it will be super obvious when parts of you don't rumble in reaction to what's happening in VR, and you'll lose some immersion. Lastly, the gloves aren't something I can recommend yet. They're pricey, lead to some accuracy issues, and are not supported by enough titles for them to be something regular folks need. Be sure to also check out our other VR videos while you're here, like our Taskmaster VR competition, and check out TechRadar.com for my full review of all of these and other essential Meta Quest 3 add-ons.